Good evening, my dear colleagues. Welcome to another Zoom series. Today, our guest is a dear colleague, Merve Oflaz from Istanbul. Currently, where are you working, Hocam? Kent University?
Yeah, I'll be starting in September, but currently we are all on holiday,
Okay, great.
It's going to be a new institution for me, actually.
Okay, good luck then.
Thank you very
Merve
much.
Hocam got her MA degree at Yeditepe University. She's currently a PhD student in curriculum and instruction at Yeditepe University. Her interests include learning preferences, integration of technology in education, and intercultural awareness. This evening, the title of her talk is Individual Differences in Online Learning. One size does not fit all. Don't I know it? Thank you, dear Merve Hocam, for being our guest speaker tonight, and welcome again. The screen is yours.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the great introduction, Aydan Hocam. It's a great privilege and it's a great pleasure for me to be with you and all of the other teachers here. I hope it's going to be a fruitful and fun presentation today. Please, while you're following my presentation, please try to participate the activities we are going to try. So when you do that, it's more fun, And if you have questions during that, do not hesitate to ask me through chat box, or you can also use the audio, however you like. Thank you very much. I am now sharing my screen. Oops. Okay. Okay, so like I just said, we are going to talk about individual differences in online learning, which we will still need. That's what we think as teachers in the following days. And the big title, the big idea of my presentation is one size does not fit all. So let's start with today's menu. What are we going to do? We're going to talk about how to use video conferencing platforms effectively. I think we all experienced that during the pandemic process, so we can maybe share our experiences. We will talk about which web tools work the best for students and what we can do to adapt them. And also we'll talk about how to appeal to different learning styles, even on online learning. And I will also share what I have learned during the COVID-19 crisis, and I will try to listen to your experiences and maybe we'll share more. So let's start with this little question. What is your current mood at the moment? Please write your answer in the chat box with with only one word. What's your current mood? Excited, thank you, Ms. Saitekin. Okay, me too, actually, excited. Upset, oh, because of all the stuff, I understand you, Hocam. Tired, yes, Özgür Hocam. Enthusiastic, yes, we never lose that, we are all teachers, right? Great, thank you, Aysel Hocam. Okay, any more? Anxious, oh no. Probably about the new academic year, or maybe the situations we're just following on the news. You are right, VM Hocam. Any more? Yeah, life-saving, okay, I hope it will be. Okay, climate crisis, yes, because of climate crisis. You are right, I agree with you. Thank you very much for sharing your current mood with us. Thank you for being honest. Okay, now, hopeful, yes, you are right, Onurcan. Like all teachers, we should be, you are right. Okay, I'm now going to share a website with you. On this website, there are some special features which I will play you some different sounds. I want you to listen to those sounds and think about the first thing or first word that pops into your mind, and write that word in the chat box. I am now closing the slides. I'm going to the website, the one I mentioned. Okay. Yes, let's start with this one. Okay, now write your answers in the chat box. Rain. Good. You can also talk about your feelings or what does it remind you, how does it wonder, yes. Ah, me too, Ali Hocam. I love the scent of rain. Your feel. I think it's coming like this. Okay. A new one is coming. All right. I'm closing these ones. Okay, now nature, yes, mercy. Okay, Onur Hocam, great one. Peace, definitely. Yeah, Hocam. Walt Whitman. This is a nice one. I like that. Okay, great. Okay, one more I will share with you. Okay. Okay. How do these sound? Waves, yes, great. That's what we all need, actually, right? Peaceful place. Peaceful thoughts, peaceful feeling. Silence. Yeah, me too. I miss that sound. Okay, thank you again for your answers. Now we have to close that. Is it train tracks? Ah, yes, there is one here. Yeah. It's nice as well, right? Makes you feel you maybe you are on the way to a far away place, right? Okay. So this was Noisely, actually. The title of this web tool is called Noisely. You can also use it on your mobile phone. It's possible to use it on the mobile phone or on the website, like I showed you. So that you can just ask your students a simple question like I did, and you can ask them to write their answers in the chat box. But you know, sometimes our students get bored easily. Actually, not sometimes, they all or they always get bored easily. So we have to change the way we teach the tools and all the activities, the way we reach them. The change is good while keeping the routine. Change is always good. So instead of asking the simple questions to ask them to write their answers in chat box, these kind of activities can help them to create or to find creative answers to your questions, actually. So this the activity is the title of this activity is labeled by me. That's what I found for this activity. But it's all up to you to change the name, to adapt it to different, activities. It can even be used before you start a writing activity, a reading activity. It can be used as a warm-up or as just a starter to the lesson, even an icebreaker. Actually, you can use it in different ways. Okay, my next activity is called guessing time. It's not going to be difficult for you because you're going to guess about me, actually. As you see, I have a background picture. This is a virtual one, actually. This is not my real room. So I want you to find answers to these WH questions for me. So where do you think I am? What am I doing? Who am I with? What time of the year is it? Why am I doing this or why am I here? And how I feel. So I'm going to stop sharing so you can see my virtual background better. If you click on me, I'm going to become bigger from the gallery view to the speaker view. So you can write your answers now. Where do you think I am at the moment? It can be a different country. It can be a different place. You can guess it. In a cafe? Okay, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to show more. In a library, okay. In a village. At home in Bilin hocam, hello, welcome. It's great to see you made it. Yes, maybe at home in Istanbul. Office in a cafe as well. Okay, good answers. Thank you very much. Maybe a hotel lobby. Yes. So what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, you can write some fun answers. That crazy answers are okay. Don't worry. Chilling, cramming. Yes, for the exam I'm going to take in September actually. Drinking coffee, taking rest. Thank you. Okay. So how do I feel? I think you can see it from my face. Waiting for someone. Happy. Yes, exactly. Excited. Energetic, positive energy. Yes, you are right. And why do you think I'm here? I mean, when in the places you have just guessed. Everybody's answer is different, of course. Okay. You needed a break. Exactly. Yes, the rain to stop. To meet your besties. I miss my besties. Plans are there. Exactly. Thank you very much. I'm now sharing my screen again. Just a minute. Oops. Yes, it's coming. So I'm sure you are looking forward to seeing the real answers. All answers were great. Thank you very much again. Very creative, very fun ones. Okay, these were my answers. I'm in Norwich, the UK, my favorite place in the UK, actually. I'm giving a lesson on Zoom. You see, after the pandemic process, we cannot imagine any other activities apart from Zoom lessons. Who am I with? With my cat. Actually, I don't have a cat, but I want one. So that's my imaginary cat, let's say, imaginary friend. So what time of the year? I said it must be a sweet autumn day because of the rain over there, and happy, good guess. And why am I there giving a Zoom lesson? Because I love my job. Okay, thank you very much again for participating in this activity. All right, next activity is named by me again. It's always up to you to name the activities to make it catchy for your own students, for the age group, for the people you are teaching actually. This is called Listen and React. So I'm going to read some statements to you. So I want you to click on the thumb if you say yes to my statement. So I am now stopping sharing again to read out my statements. Please look at the bottom bar, and it's probably black in your screen as well. It's there's on the right, there is a reactions button. When you click on that, you're going to see different reactions like this. So this is the thumb one. Shall we try that with everybody? Yes, Nazlı hocam. Great. Thank you very much. Awesome. Ayşenur hocam, Asena hocam, Ali hocam. Awesome. So everybody can do it. All right. So click on the thumb if you are teaching young learners. Great. Lots of young learner teachers. Awesome. Okay. And you love it, Mrs. Aytekin. I can see your different mood. Click on the thumb if you are teaching secondary students. Yes, only one, I guess. Okay. Click on the thumb if you're teaching high school students. Awesome, Ayşenur hocam. Great. Click on the thumb if you are teaching university students or university prep students. Lots. Great, thank you. All right, okay, another type of question is coming. Click on the thumb if you enjoyed teaching during the pandemic. Okay, it's a tricky question, I know. Okay, but there are some who like, okay, Ali hocam loves it, you can see. Aydan hocam, you say no. And Şebnem hocam is crying. All right. Another one is coming. Click on the thumb if you like being a teacher. For this one, I think we need this one. A big heart, right? Great, thank you again. I'm sharing my screen. Back to our presentation. So this activity, as I said, was named by me, but you can always adapt these activities considering the group of students you are teaching. You can also use the same type of activity by asking the students to turn on their cameras or to turn off their cameras. During the pandemic, I was actually working at a university with young adults, I can name, but after I started teaching at university, at the very beginning, I was very nervous because I've taught young learners for a long time. And when I started, I was relieved because I saw that young adults, I mean, the students at the university were like young learners, actually. This was a positive thing for me. So reaching to those students became easily. These students during the pandemic process, it was new for all of us, you know. They never wanted to turn their cameras on. I had a class with 70 students because they gathered all the students up during the online lessons. Instead of giving them different sessions with smaller groups, we gave the lessons to the bigger groups. So it was very difficult both for teachers and also students. Imagine a classroom with 70 students, even one student did not want to turn the camera on. So this was really demotivating for the teacher. I think you would feel the same, I'm sure. Maybe you have experienced that. So I tried different kinds of activities, different kind of ideas. And this one was the first thing I've tried, actually. So by giving these statements, instead of saying click on this, click on that, you can ask your students to turn their cameras on. Of course, you can change the statements with more fun ones, like click on the video or turn your camera on if you ate this and that at breakfast, for example. So at the beginning of the lesson, these kind of activities can maybe motivate your students to turn their cameras on, because when they do that, it's more real. When they don't do that, you're just talking to yourself in the camera, and that's not a good thing. Okay. So we talked about what we can do about virtual backgrounds. You made some guesses about my own virtual background. Of course, you can try different stuff. For example, at the very beginning of the academic year, when we first meet our students, we have different classroom activities in ELT. You can change all these activities into online ones. Like, for example, putting fun virtual background and changing your video filter, maybe putting a hat, putting a different pair of glasses, different makeup from the video filter feature of the Zoom. You can make it more fun, and students can meet each other with these fun characters. You know, we usually do that activity in the classroom, a mingling activity. We ask them to say hello and to introduce themselves, so they can do this according to their imaginary characters. I don't know if you have any idea about how to use video filters, but it's very easy. When you go to the Zoom settings on your desktop, when you click on the videos, there is a section where you change the background, virtual background picture photo. And next to that, there is also a video filter that you can wear crazy things as a clothes or accessories you can try. And also camera for the cameras to be turned on, you can use creative ideas. Of course, non-verbal feedback feature of the Zoom is life-saving, like we all tried this. In different parts of the lesson, not for only fun activities, but to get some feedback from the students. This feature is really life-saving. I like that during online teaching, actually. The breakout rooms, I don't know if you have ever tried it, because as far as I know, free version of the Zoom, does not allow people to have breakout rooms, which is a pity. Maybe Zoom will work on it in the following months, in the following weeks, and everyone can have this, because breakout rooms are great for, especially for language teachers, to ask their students to work in little groups, bigger groups, in pairs, etc. Because if you don't try them, I mean, language lessons becomes meaningless, right? Yes, exactly. It's very helpful, Özgür Hocam, for the practice part. And also, like the real classroom, the teacher can visit the rooms very quickly to monitor the students. At the very beginning, students are, of course, anxious, and also they try to do crazy stuff, you know, like turning into Turkish, blah, blah. But when they see that you are monitoring them, because you just pop in the room and they can feel that the teacher can come anytime, so they are on their work. After a while, they get used to that. Of course, if the institution you are working at is allowing you to use a premium version of the Zoom, you are very lucky. You can always use the breakout rooms. There is also a pause feature from the settings, actually, not from settings, sorry, from the profile of your Zoom account, you can go and you can put some questions to create polls. I tried that when I first started teaching online, but it was a bit challenging for me. So instead of creating polls for every Zoom link, there are other web tools, which I will share one of them today. You can always use those ones as well. But of course, it's good to know that there is a poll feature there. You can just use it during, you can even create it during your presentation. There's also an annotate section, which I closed today for this special presentation. Students can do any kind of drawing, editing, writing, typing activities on the slides or on the materials you are using. And especially young learners love it. So you are not only lecturing your lesson, you are allowing your students to be a part of the process, because when they are there doing something, they feel a part of the lesson. They are a part of the lesson. So this is really good for them. Okay. So even from the features of these video conferencing platforms, we can see that we take care for our students, and we consider their individual differences. So if teachers want to do something about individual differences to make each student learn, they should address these differences. Actually, from even from these features, I think we have done that. We considered auditory students, visual students, even the kinesthetic ones, you know. So I will share more for the kinesthetic ones. So this is a big chance for the teachers to consider these type of students. Okay, for the next part of the presentation, I will kindly ask you to go to this website, www.menti.com. You can do it on your phone, or you can open a new browser on your laptop or tablet. And when you do that, it's going to ask you a code. Let me start the presentation so you can type your answer. Okay. Menti.com, and the code is 4487549. And there's a question there. What major problems have you encountered as a student? Maybe there are also student teachers between us, or as a teacher during COVID-19 crisis. You can write short answers, long answers, doesn't matter, however you like. Okay, I'm giving you some time. The first answer has arrived. Participation, exactly. Yes. You can put your answer by going to menti.com and entering this code. Isolated. Being, I think next sentence will appear later. This is only a part of the sentence, I guess. Being what? You can type your second and the rest of your answer actually. Oh, by the way, the sounds were still on. We're feeling ourselves in the forest for the last 5 minutes. I've just closed that. Okay. All right. Any more? Let's see. Being alone. Okay, great. Lack of interaction, isolated, cheating. Unfortunately, this was the biggest problem in assessment, actually. We were not ready. I'm not sure if we still are ready or not. Connection problems. Yes, not everybody had the same opportunity, of course. Lack of interaction, comprehension, efficiency, attention, maintaining relationship. Yes, this is one of the most important actually, the rapport between the students and the teacher. You are right, I agree with you. Okay, thank you very much. Anxiety, not only students, also the teachers, I guess, right? I'm also checking the chat box if there are different answers. Adaptation, you are right, Mehtap Hocam. Lack of human interactions, these were also very important, not only students and teachers, and even between the colleagues. You are right. Thank you very much. Okay, we can go back. Lack of socialization, giving praise. Yes, this is different from the real classroom. Yeah, you can always praise your students from online platforms, but we also need praise, right? As teachers, you are right. Okay, we can go back to your answers later to see if there are new ones. I'm now going to share my answers with you. Actually, what I have learned during this process was actually exciting for me because, like Aydın Hocam said at the very beginning of the presentation, we are as teachers, we are always learning. We keep learning, right? We keep learning new stuff. So using even the video conferencing platforms, it sounds very simple, but using them more effectively saves your life. And it doesn't happen in one day, actually. If you are not, a professional about that, don't worry. Each day, each week, you can try a new feature of these platforms, and you can make a progress about this. So it doesn't have to be Zoom, because some institutions use different ones like Adobe, I don't know, Microsoft's special platforms, etc. So you can try these activities there. So do not rush, give yourself time. Using the right web tools in the right place at the right time. This is the key. So we all know different kinds of web tools. Even before the pandemic, we were familiar with them, right? Especially as language teachers, as English teachers, we have maybe watched different conference presentations, we have read blogs, we have joined webinars, etc. But how we can use and where we can use and when we can use, this is the key. So you don't have to use tons of web tools in one lesson, in 40-minute lessons, or in one week. You can choose the right one at the right time in the right place, actually. This is the key. Connecting with your students is a must, like most of you mentioned, and helping your students to work in harmony is a need. This is what we are doing in the real classrooms for the whole lesson time, but in the online lessons, these become very challenging. So I understand we all experience that, but there are different ways to make them better, to make everything better, actually. And enjoying every moment, not only for students, as teachers, enjoying every moment and having fun together with your students is up to you. you can make this better, actually. Okay, let's continue. So like I mentioned, there are tons of web tools where you can use in different parts of the lesson, before, while, or after. And these web tools help students, especially visual ones, auditory ones, even the kinesthetic students, to join in the lesson, to participate in your activities. It makes everything better. But when you don't use them in the right place, in the right time, it becomes vice versa. So everything turns into a disaster, let's say. So it's again up to you to follow this process, to see and to follow how the students react, how it goes on, to get feedback during the lessons, after each lesson. So this is an ongoing process, both for the teachers and students, actually. I am now going to share different types of activities for each days of the week. I am sure most of the teachers are familiar to decide on any web tools for any kind of language teaching title. If you're teaching present continuous, for example, I'm sure you are spending time on how to start the lesson, how to practice it, how to create a product in the very end. But what about the fun part of it? So these activities I will share for each day will take 5 or 10 minutes of the lesson, and maybe it will affect the rest of the lesson time, in a positive way, to continue and to make the students participate more, even in the boring parts. Maybe students can find some parts boring, especially reading and writing, etc. So the first one starts with the Monday activity. It's called Mysterious Monday. Again, it's the one I created. You can change the names. It's always up to you. And there is this website, 20q.net. Q is question here, by the way. So I'm going to show you the website. And you are going to understand why it's called mysterious. Actually, where is it? It's over here. Okay. So on this website, on the home page, you're going to see the first title, Thinking American, Thinking British, etc. Even Türkçe Düşün is here, but I will click on Thinking British because we are going to use English. So the website allows you, just a minute, let's write 30, not 30, but I'm going to write 30. I feel 30 today. Okay, location Turkey, play. So here, before you start the activity, you have to decide about a word with your students. This can be an animal, food, an object, anything. Okay, so let's decide it together. Yes, Ali Hocam, this is very creative. Thank you for the idea. Okay, let's decide about a word. It can be an animal, a food, an object. Any answers for this one? Because the game is continuing with that. Water, okay, very general, but yeah, why not? Water can do it. Nail polish. I like this one, a different one. Nail polish. Okay, Mrs. Aytekin. All right, let's choose nail polish. Okay, so we are going to try to answer these questions according to our answer. Okay, is it clear? Is nail polish classified as animal, vegetable, or mineral? Okay, let's do other. Of course, nail polish is not that. Can it fit in an envelope? Nail polish in an envelope. I mean, if the envelope is big enough, why not? Yes. Is it a common household object? Of course, no. Is it hard? This is a tricky question. The container is hard, but not the, not the nail polish. Let's say, is it hard? Let's say no. Okay. Is it organic? Maybe there are organic ones. No, we don't eat it. Thank you for the answers, Aydan Hocam. I couldn't decide if the nail polish is organic or not. No. Does it slobber? Can we count this as an irrelevant question, maybe? Irrelevant, yeah. Do you clean it regularly? No, we don't have to clean it. Could it be found in a classroom? No. Let's say no. Can it float? No. Do you use it in your home? Yes. Does it break if dropped? Ah, yes. Would you use it daily? Sometimes. Is it multicolored? Oh, yes. Would you give it as a gift? Why not? Is it flat? Oh, it can't be flat, right? Irrelevant. Let's say irrelevant. Can you smell it? Yes. Do most people use this daily? Sometimes. Is it green or black? Rarely parted. Depends. Sometimes. Is it soft? It's liquid, actually. Irrelevant, I'm guessing that it's an eyeshadow. Oh, it's still clothes, right? It's something related with makeup. But this is wrong. Is it decorated? No. Can we consider it decorated? No. Is it round? No. No. I'm guessing that it's a gummy bear. Oh, no, it's not close. Wrong. Can it be dried? Yes. Maybe. Ah, it's here. The answer is here. You see, is it a nail polish? Right. Okay, after asking more than 20 questions, it's not 20, but more than that, it found the answer. Of course, you can try the same activity with real tools. For example, I'm going to stop sharing here. A real box like this. Okay, so you can put an object in it, and you can ask your students what the object in the box is. They try and they take a guess about this. I don't know if you can guess what's inside the box. Can you? Any guesses? I'm checking the chat box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Money. Oh, I wish, Şebnem hocam. A mug. Ah, yes, this box came with a mug. Actually, I bought it from the internet. A pair of dice. No. Cartoon character, maybe. A piece of love. Oh, very romantic, Onur hocam. Okay, I'm now sharing. I'm not going to take your time. Okay, it's a mini dictionary. It's a bitsy English dictionary. So I put it before the session here. Yeah, and you can try this activity with a real box and a real object, or you can use the online one so students can take a guess about this object. Next activity is called Talkative Tuesday. You know, we always want our students to participate in the lesson, to practice more and more, to make their English better. But even in the real classrooms, this is really challenging, right? So we have to motivate our students all the time to talk in front of their students and in front of other people. This type of activities help them to gain confidence, actually, and to it's also helpful to cope with their language anxiety as well. There is a website called classtools.net, and I'm now showing that to you. Here's it. On this website, you are going to find lots of different kind of activities. You're going to love them. And each day they are adding new ones. You can check it later. But I would like to show you this one over here. It's an online spinner, actually. And you can put the words and sentences yourself on the spinner. Let's spin it. Okay, I picked some teams, actually. Okay. It says favorite. What was it? I couldn't see. Favorite actor? Was it? Again. Favorite actor. It was favorite actor. Anyways. Our theme is films. I'm going to ask one of our participants, I will kindly ask one of our participants to talk about films for a minute. I hope it's not 1 hour. This is 1 minute, right? Once I made it 1 hour, actually. Okay, any volunteers? Any volunteers? You don't have to turn your camera on. I will kind of ask you to talk about films. You can say anything about films, your favorite film characters, blah, blah, for 1 minute. Anybody who wants to try? No? Let me share. Let me check the chat box. Okay. So Aydın Hocam, would you like to try? There's one more answer. Great. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, please, you're on mute. Okay. Now I'm starting it. 1, 2, 3. Yes, you can start.
I love films because they bring us an imaginary world to the comfort of our home. When I can, sit down on a comfortable armchair and sip my coffee, I can watch a war which is far away from me and cannot harm me. And I can see some imaginary characters, and I love those. One of the favorite movies of mine is The Lord of the Rings, for example. The whole series, I love it. I have watched the whole series maybe 6 or 7 times because it is full of life philosophy, good examples, imaginary characters, but they're so real imaginary characters. I love them.
Great, thank you very much, Aydın. It was great. You never stopped. Great answer. Thank you very much for your kindness and for your answer. And I'd like to thank to Azra Hoca as well because she participated in the activity from the chat box. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, the Frodo. Yes, William. I like that actually. Thank you very much. Let's go back to our presentation. So this is called Talkative Tuesday, but of course you don't have to try it on only Tuesdays. This is just an idea, but it's good to have a routine. You know, especially young learners are very used to these kind of routines, and it's very helpful during the learning process. But when it comes to language learning, the routine is good for all ages. That's what I read so far, and that's what I believe from my own experience as well. So if you allow students to try this activity on Tuesday, they will be ready. And maybe a couple of weeks later, you can lengthen the time. Not you can make it more than 1 minute. You can make it 5 minutes at the end of the term. I don't know. So these teams can become presentations of the students as well. Okay, next one is called Warm Wednesday. So the tool I'd like to introduce to you is called Tegul. I don't know if it's pronounced as Tegul, whatever. So it's over here. The web address is called wordart.com. And you write Tegul, it's directly sends you to this website actually. And all these websites and tools are free, by the way. You can create your own accounts to try to use them. And it's very easy to use it. The only thing you should do is click on create. And after that, you are going to put the words you would like to see on your image, like this one. Okay. I picked some adjectives, actually. I will tell you why. Okay. Here, you are going to type the words. It's very easy, happy, sad, whatever. And after that, you see the title size. You can change the size of these. You can put 5, 10, whatever, because that's what makes your image, I mean, the word in the image, big or small. So if you put 10, for example, you're going to see that specific word bigger than the others. So here, after finishing putting in those words, you can also click visualize, and you can change the shape of the word cloud. I picked hearts actually. to make it, relevant to the topic, but that's up to you, however you choose it. Okay, let's click on this one, for example. Oops, not this one. This one, I guess. Here, there is another version of it. So there are, again, adjectives. So when you go here on top of the words, they become bigger. All right. So this activity I talked about here is called Warm Wednesday, because I asked my students to go to this website and to create a word cloud for a student in the classroom, for a friend in the classroom. And the words they are going to choose are only the positive adjectives for their friends. This is like making crazy compliments to each other. One of the teachers mentioned about praising at the beginning of our presentation, the lack of praise. Not only teachers, maybe the students as well. So these kind of activities can change the online learning into a real learning atmosphere, because this is what we do in real classrooms usually, but we can't do it in the online learning process. So it can help them. After they create a word cloud like this, they can send it to each other if they like. They can print it, they can edit it however they like. Of course, for each age group and for all these web tools, you should put your own classroom rules, because when it comes to classroom, even we as adults, we can just change the atmosphere to make it fun. We can do crazy stuff. So rules are always good. You can put your own rules, like this one, for example, to use only the positive adjectives. Of course, this is just a word activity, a vocabulary activity. But what I have tried after this was a related, next step was a related activity. I put my cursor on the heart like this, and I wanted the students who created this to tell me stop. So if they said stop when I was here, a good listener, I wanted my student to make a sentence about it. Or maybe to talk about that adjective for 1 minute, however you like. This is, of course, not only for vocabulary practice or vocabulary teaching and learning. You can try these kind of activities before or during a reading activity. You can put the summary here, copy and paste the summary. They can also create word clouds like this. Or a writing activity. You can put some prompts here. By looking at those words, they can create short paragraphs or short stories in different groups. It's always up to you to change these kind of activities, however and wherever and whenever you like it. Next activity is called Throwback Thursday. I think we are all familiar with throwback things on social media. We share our photos, right? But of course, we don't want our students to share their real photos, especially if they are under 18, etc. This activity can be tried with photographs shared on this web tool called Picklets. This is for educational purpose, so you can just trust that website for all the photos shared there, actually. So students can go there and choose the photo they would like to use. So this is going to be an imaginary Throwback Thursday activity. Okay, where is it? Here's it. So again, you can create your own account. Mine is closed actually. I don't know why. I remember I logged in, but yes, it's coming. So on the website, I don't know, it becomes slow. I'll go back. I'll show from here. So on the website, there are different themes you can click. And when you click on the theme, it will allow you to reach lots of different kinds of photographs, right? And after you click on the photograph, I'll make this bigger to make it more clear. This is good. So the website is allowing you to use different words from here, nouns, adjectives, etc. So you just drag and drop these words on the picture, around the picture, wherever you like. Also, you can, or your students can, put in their captions themselves. So they can create their own Throwback Thursday activity and share it on a classroom platform, maybe. We are going to talk about that as well. This is called Piglet. I hope you like it. Last one is called Funny Friday. And as you can understand from the title, it's all is fun, but this is more fun actually, because not only students, we also like using emojis on WhatsApp, on social media, etc. Here, students go to Emoji Copy website and from their phones or from their tablets or laptops, and they can write secret messages. They can create different games. For example, the one I shared here is taken from a Google image actually. And there are games like this. You can find the ready ones as well. By looking at the emojis, you guess the name of the film, or you guess the name of the book, you guess the name of the story. This one is Ghostbusters, an easy one. This is Lion King. And when students start to use this, they become more creative every day. It's good for, it's like a brain teaser as well, not only for English, but also a brain teaser. You can use this individually, as a pair work, as a group work, however you like. This is called Funny Friday. So we talked about different tools, different activities to reach our students because our students are not all same. So they have different learning preferences, different learning styles. I think it's up to the teacher to decide on what kind of instructional design they are going to plan for their own lessons and how they are going to follow, etc. This is making all process easier actually. Maybe it sounds it's going to be difficult at the beginning, maybe you have never tried, but after a while as the teacher you feel safe actually. And we also talked about the connection. Some teachers have mentioned about the rapport between the students and teachers and the connection, because it's not like the real connection in the classroom. Unfortunately, many of the teachers from Ministry of Education schools had to use WhatsApp during this process to reach the students and the parents. It was an awful process actually, because some teachers have quit because of this. It was a disappointing situation actually. Lots of burnout, lots of negative things. I should say that WhatsApp is not the only place you can share stuff. You can follow your students' work. There is this Padlet web tool I use, and I am in love with this web tool actually. My thesis was on Padlet. My second MA thesis was on Padlet. I'm really in love with this web tool. Since it started, it made a great upgrade actually, because of the increasing number of the users. It's a platform where you can trust. It's a safe platform for all ages, because the teacher himself or herself creating the platform, arranging all the setting stuff, etc. So you can use it with all ages. What you can do here actually is very easy. Padlet is allowing the teacher to create big online bulletin boards. So what are you going to do with these bulletin boards? Lots of stuff. Let me share with you some of my ideas. For example, this one was my class Padlet. So I created this for a specific group of students, for a classroom actually. Every day after each lesson, I was sharing what we did in the classroom with links or maybe some pictures or maybe some other documents, YouTube videos, what kind of activities you can do is always up to you. But I try to make the students to go beyond the online class. So after they turn off their laptop, after they leave the online lesson, I wanted the students actually to continue their work here. They commented on each other's work, they share their homework there, etc. So, they also use this for their essays, discursive essays. They correct their words, their mistakes, sorry, each other's mistakes. They did it themselves. I used it to get feedback. I also used it to share their projects. You know, for projects, and a couple of years ago, there was a performance task stuff in in schools, in primary schools and secondary schools. The students were preparing them and they were going to trash actually. But with this kind of platforms, when students put in their work on the platform, they have a chance to show it to each other. So everything becomes meaningful. It's not meaningless. It's not going into the rubbish. And students are commenting on each other's work. They praise each other. Also, if your students are young ones, their parents can also see them. You know, we have to prove everything to parents in Turkey. It's different from other countries, of course. Also, you can open Padlets for announcements. For example, you can create one for the parents. You don't have to share your phone number and WhatsApp stuff. The parents can turn on the notifications, just like a WhatsApp message. They get a notification when you put on an announcement, actually. So selecting these kind of activities appealing to all types of students will make your students get things easily with the help of their dominant learning styles, because you are using different things, visual things, auditory things, kinesthetic things, and of course it will also improve their less dominant learning style, not only their own ones. Another interesting activity, we are coming to the end, we are close to the end, is about harmony in the classroom. So when we are in the real classroom, we spend lots of time for this, but it's very difficult in online learning, of course. And sometimes even us can lose hope and our motivation and our enthusiasm. This one I came across with is a very interesting one that you can find on YouTube, which I will share the link with you from the chat box. Just a minute. You can watch the videos of it. So this looks like a physical activity. Oops, I can't copy. Here I'm sharing the chat box. Okay, I don't want to spend the time by showing the video to you. But you're going to see this lady showing this movement, action, whatever it is. So you can try it with your students, but tell them to sit in a safe place, not a chair with wheels, actually. They can just fall down, even the young learners one, you know. So here, this is called Wayne Cook posture. I don't know if you have ever heard it or not. Actually, the guy's name is Wayne Cook, and it's this action or body movement, whatever, is used to treat dyslexia and stuttering. This is going to be and, sorry. So this posture helps the energies in our bodies between the forebrain and the nervous system to work in better harmony, the right brain and the left brain as well. And it doesn't affect only the body, also the mind. Actually, I was trying this before the pandemic in my writing lessons. And it helps my students to cope with their writing, language anxiety and writing anxiety. It helped them a lot. You can also try it before the reading task, comprehending, even before an exam. So what they do is to sit like this. You can see the cross action like this. So right hand, left ankle, left hand, right ankle. So you breathe and you breathe in and you breathe out. You're going to watch the video and see how it works. It's very helpful. I strongly recommend it. So looking at the summary of the activities, I put the list for you. We talked about one-word chat at the beginning of our presentation. Guessing time, you were guessing about where I was, what I was doing. And we used the non-verbal reactions of the Zoom feature for this listen and react activity. Like all teachers, we want our students to turn their cameras on to make the lessons more real. We try different activities and fun activities for each day. These are just, of course, some ideas from me. I'm sure you have more ideas. And this is a picture summary of the tools I mentioned. But I haven't talked about this one, I remember now. So summaries are always good to remind you what you haven't talked about. Bitmoji Classroom. So we talked about Padlet, right? Where you can share your students' work and your announcements, etc. These are my Padlets here. Okay, I'm going to click on this one, for example, career planning and development. So here, students and the teacher can share anything they like. This was after pandemic, so there are some Turkish messages as well. Not only pictures and words, comments, YouTube videos, everything is possible here. And also, there is another platform called Bitmoji Classroom. In Bitmoji Classroom, I don't have one, but if you want, you can search some YouTube videos to prepare one. Teachers are creating their classrooms, 3D classroom actually. They are putting their avatars there. And when the students go to the slide, for example, if you put a library there, when they click on the library, they can reach to homework. When they click on the classroom path, they can reach to fun activities. So by clicking on some images, the website is sending you to different platforms. I think this is really helpful, especially for the young learners and maybe secondary school students. You can try it. Which web tool was your favorite? Would you like to share in the chat box? It's a very hard pose for me, you wrote, Aygün'cüm. Okay, for me, actually, Noisely was my favorite, is always my favorite. And Nazlı Hocam wrote saying Noisely. Yes, you're right. You can try the other ones as well. So a few more tips on these digital tools. If you start to use a new digital tool, you should always consider the updates and changes. Even one day makes everything different, actually. Yesterday, I checked all these websites and tools, but today I checked them again because you never know what will change on the website. So if you're going to use it in the real classroom or on a presentation like this, be sure you visited the page earlier. And passwords are crazy because if you put a different password for each kind of application and website, after a while, everything becomes crazy. I usually use the same password for the digital tools. But of course, I don't recommend it for your email, for your social media accounts. Experts recommend to use different passwords. But these ones are just the tools we use in the classroom. So try to use the same password or different passwords in a different strategy. The requirements are important because using a web tool can be easy for you, but it may not be easy for the students. Maybe they don't have the requirements. So be sure the tool you are going to use, the website you are going to use, is working on every device in every country. If you are teaching international students, this is also important because some countries do not allow some of the tools as well. Clarity for all users. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you don't have to rush. You should give time to your students. Yes, younger students and teenagers, we can consider them digital geeks, but it's not like that when it comes to the lesson. They are very active on social media or some games, but it's not the same with these tools, so give them time. Routine is important, like I mentioned, and knowing the audience. When the pandemic started, we already knew our students because we were with them at the beginning of the academic year. But later, if we had new classrooms, maybe we never met them face to face as well. So try to do your best to know your audience, your students, even online. Netiquette is very important because it's always important to teach our students how to use their manners. And when it comes to technology, we should be ready for the unexpected all the time. Of course, for all these ideas and activities, motivation is very important. Not only students, also the teachers. So, what I recommend to my dear colleagues is to use every opportunity to explore. This is what Aydın always says: lifelong learning. We are in this process all the time. Do not fear change. I think we never do. After living in Turkey, right? There's always a change all the time. We are used to that. Be strong, not only physically, also psychologically, of course. Enjoy every moment of your journey. Yes, I know there are lots of problems, there are crazy stuff going on, but why not enjoying our teaching days, teaching moments, right? And show your enthusiasm because it's like a domino game. You are affecting your students. So remember, one size does not fit all. Thank you very much for all your participation and for your patience. Thank you, Hocam. Emel Hocam.
Thank you very much. In fact, we learned a lot. You have given us excellent ideas. Some of these are really wonderful. And all of the participants are thanking you for this very inspiring, fruitful session. And some of our participants also have some suggestions. For example, Mrs. Aytekin here says, if you sign in with Google, you don't need to create a password. I don't know, maybe we can also try that out and see whether it works. Thank you, Hocam, for that suggestion. And Aysel Hocam also suggests Wordle.
Yes, Wordle is another word cloud.
Yes. So as an alternative. And I think Sherif Hocam has also suggested, I know, I hated that scene, Frodo climbing up that mountain. My God, it was a nightmare. Sherif Hocam, I cannot find your suggestion. Here, www.poleverywhere.com.
Yes, I think it's not free anymore. That's what I remember, but we should check. When it comes to tools, they become crazy after a while. They want money from you. I think.
Well, when there is demand, of course, they are going to try to make money.
Yes,
well,
right.
at least they are for good reasons, let's say. Well, Azra Hocam had a question, in fact.
Okay.
Well, can I ask you a question before, while I'm trying to find Azra Hocam's question? When it comes to choosing in between, which is more important for you as a teacher, as an individual, the needs, goals of the institution, or the needs and goals of the student?
Very good question. I think we should have a special panel about it. But my answer would be this, actually. Of course, the institutions we work for is important because that is what helps us as the teachers to shape the learning. So if we are beyond that, I mean, if we are doing something out of ordinary, of course it's good, especially in language learning, but we should also consider the rules and regulations of the institutions we are working in. In that respect, we should decide on what we should do and what we do. That's what I mean, as personally, that's what I believe. So if it doesn't, if it's not okay with us, maybe at the end of the academic year, we can just say farewell, and we should search for a new institution. But I guess as a teacher, we should consider those rules and regulations firstly.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
because institutions say that they profile a graduate of that institution and they define it. So whoever is a graduate of, for example, the Middle East Technical University, that person has these
Yes,
attributes.
exactly.
So when it comes to preference, I think institutions' goals and needs kind of overweighs the individual's goals and needs. But teachers can always find a balance, I
Yes,
think.
you are right, Hocam. You
Uh,
are right.
I have also found Azra Hocam's question, how do
Okay.
you choose the authentic materials in line with your students' needs?
Mhm.
How do you choose authentic materials?
Okay, I think it's related with the age and also the level of the students you are teaching. If you are teaching at at the prep school of a university, it's a different answer. If you are teaching at faculty or at other institutions, it's a different answer. But I mean, if you are doing it for the young adults and adults, I think what we should do as teachers is to consider their preferences, their interests, actually. So for this, maybe you can use these kind of tools to find out about their interests. So the materials you are going to choose for, if you are deciding on a reading material, for example, an authentic reading material or a video, maybe you can try to reach your students by putting different themes of videos, etc. That would be the best, I guess.
Yeah, an excellent answer. In fact, age is very, very important. And I believe teachers should spare the time to monitor each and every authentic material that they're going to use. Authentic materials are so various and numerous. Even a ticket is an authentic material. Or maybe a movie of 2.5 hours is an authentic
Exactly.
material. So there is no limit or limitation of an authentic material.
Yes, hocam, you
Personally,
are.
I would say clean language. We don't
Yes.
want to model,
Not with the Turkish ones, hocam.
yeah,
Turkish.
we don't want to model terrible language, bad
Of course.
language, dirty
No.
language. Well, they already know it. They love learning that kind of slang and jargon, but we don't want to use that. Clean language is important. Um, I guess if you monitor the material, if you read the material, if you watch the material, you will feel whether it will be okay to use with your learners or not,
Yes, yes, you are right. Even
right?
every minute of it is important. I mean,
Yeah.
especially if it's a video, even the visuals
Oh,
in the
yes.
activity you choose. Sometimes they are maybe above 18 years old, but it
Mm.
is still important. It's related with
Because
to
there are cultural differences.
yes,
There are some
exactly.
pictures that you don't want to use.
Exactly. Of
Uh,
course, we should also, I don't know, teach our students how to. I mean, you were also talking about me at the beginning of the presentation, intercultural awareness, one of my
yes.
interests, actually. Of course, we should teach our students to be respectful to different kinds of thoughts and cultures. But sometimes some groups of students, it changes from class to class. You may see that they are not ready. So
Yeah.
you should do it with baby steps, actually.
Mm, mm.
It's not
Yeah.
happening in one day, of course.
Yeah. As they say, 7 is too late.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes the
Sometimes,
education that they have received at home
yes,
blocks their being open-minded. So I think you're right. We need to approach them carefully without offending them. because if
Yes,
there is any offense, they
yes,
will shut down and they will not learn
exactly.
anything. So it is what we do as teachers, I believe, is delicate.
Delicate, exactly.
It is important. That's why I believe, as Merve Hocam has asked questions related to that issue, loving your profession is very important, because sometimes you are the only person who can touch your student's life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love being colleagues with you guys, because Marvo Jam, of course, you being the first here in this group, all of my colleagues here are so passionate, so dedicated.
Oh, nice.
Even at 30 degrees Celsius, they join this Zoom event to be with us, to learn more, to improve themselves. I love you for that. And I hope you will all stay safe, healthy, and very difficult these days, but happy. Thanks again, Maro Jam. It was a
Thank you
great
very much
session. I
for giving me
enjoyed it
this
so
chance.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank you again and to our dear colleagues for attending my presentation, and to Inget Turkey as well. This was a
Thank
great
you.
pleasure and a privilege to be with this special group, actually. I enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
again.
Thank you
Hope to
very
see you
much.
again.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear colleagues. Thanks a lot. Take good care of yourselves. Bye bye, and hope to see you next
Bye.
week.
Goodbye, everyone.